All right, welcome back to the night class. Today we are studying exponents. We're in chapter 6, the first section. So let's get busy. These first two are special exponents, okay? Anything to the 0 power is 1, okay? Anything to the 0 power is 1. So this one right here, it's pretty simple. 6.7 to the 0 is 1, okay? Now, I don't know if anybody's ever explained to you why this is, but I'm going to, okay? To explain it, though, will require a little bit of,
a lecture?
well, no, something that you may know or you may not know, okay? So, like x squared times x to the 4th. Do y'all know what to do with those exponents? Because like I said, this is kind of going ahead. You do add them, okay? That's x to the 6th.
So that's just 1 times 1 times.
What if we're doing x to the 6th divided by x to the 3rd?
X equals 3.
You subtract, but you don't subtract. The exponents.
Yeah.
Correct. So that will be x to the 3rd. All right? Now, I'm going to write this again like this, okay? And I'm going to show you physically why. Okay? So x to the 6th literally means x times itself 6 times. X to the 3rd is x times x times x 3 times. All right? These 3 all cancel out, and I'm left with x to the 3rd. Okay? So I did all of that to make you understand this. X to the 6th divided by x to the 6th. We all know that that's what? It's 1, right? Anything over itself equals 1. Everybody with me? But if you did the subtracting thing, what is 6 minus 6? It's x to the 0, and that's why 0 powers are always equal to 1. Everybody with me there? Okay? All right? So, this one's equal to 1. Negative exponents. To do negative, God bless you, to do negative exponents, you move it and make it positive. So if it's at the top, then you move it top of the numerator, you move it to the denominator. If it's in the denominator already, you move it to the numerator. Only the part that has the negative exponent. So this would be the same as 1 over negative 2 to the 4th. Notice the only thing I've changed about it is where it is. Okay? Now the exponent is what? Instead of negative, it's now what? Positive. And now I can do it like I normally do. Negative 2 times negative 2 would be 4. Times negative 2 again would be negative 8. Times negative 2 one more time would be positive 16. Okay? Now, these, I'm not really worried about these, especially on the ACT or anything like that, because these are problems you can just put what? Put them in your calculator, okay? You can just put them in your calculator. In fact, let me do that real quick. Please let me have it. Yeah, there we go. So, I don't know. Oh, it was negative 2.
Matter of fact, you didn't pass our calculator.
You're supposed to get it.
You're supposed to get it. Negative 2 to what power? It was negative 4, right?
Yes.
And if I hit enter, I get that big long decimal. But if I hit math, enter, it changes it to a fraction for me. And that gives me 1 over 16, just like we got. Okay? Everybody good on how to put that in your calculator. All right?
Okay.
As long as they're numbers, it's no big deal. The letters are what give people trouble. Okay? So let's see if we can get some with some letters here. Same process for A. What's A going to be? 1. B would be 1 over 3 to the second, negative 3 to the second power would be 1 over 9, which is the answers. Okay? Everybody good on those?
Yeah.
Example 2. These are when most people start getting in trouble because now they're letters. Okay, I don't know what they are. I just got to know where to move them. So 4, I'm just going to rewrite it. 4x to the 0 power over y to the negative 3 power. It says write your answer using only positive exponents. So what I would do is, what happens to the x?
Does it go down?
It doesn't go down because it doesn't have a negative exponent. It turns into a 1 because what's its power? 0. So that's 4 times 1. Okay. What happens to the y to the negative 3 though? It's on the bottom, so it goes to the top. Y, and you change the exponent to a positive. Okay. So my final answer is just 4y to the 3rd. And that's literally all there is to those. Okay? Any questions on those so far? Everybody good? All right, let's try another example. Oops. What would that end up being? Let's see how. I'll give you a second to look at it, and then we'll figure it out here. All right, that shouldn't take too long. What's 2 to the 0 power?
0.
No.
1.
Anything to the 0 power is what? 1. Okay. So that's just 1.
X to the second. Y
X squared. Do I have to move the x squared? No. Does it have a negative exponent? No. So leave it alone. Where can I put this one?
On the top.
after the X.
Move it to the top. So my final answer is just x squared times y squared.
And you have to put them in order, right? Don't you?
You're supposed to put them in alphabetical order. Yes.
Keyword supposed to.
Would I count it wrong if you wrote y squared, x squared? Probably not. But they're not going to write it like that on a state test or an ACT or anything like that. All right. Everybody good on example 2? Awesome. All right. So example 3, we are using our properties. Your properties of exponents are on page 293. Okay. We just kind of went over 2 of them when we were talking about x to the 0 power. Okay. So if you are multiplying like bases, what happens to the exponents? If I'm saying x to the 4th times x to the 3rd, what do I do to get the answers? Not divide. You add. Oh, you said add. I'm sorry. I'm old. I can't hear. You add the exponents.
Aren't you like 32?
Yes. And
Wait, for real?
I love you so much.
Good Trina, this is like the 5th time you've guessed one correctly.
Thank you.
Are you really 32?
No, I'm not.
I figured.
You're 42? Good Trina.
About to be.
Wait, for real? So you're 41?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Wait, seriously?
I said no. Yeah, older than my dad. No, I'm just kidding. Coach Todd takes it like.
What would you do when you're dividing like bases? Subtract. So that's x to the 3rd. All right. And then last but not least, what do you do when you're taking a power to another power?
Multiply.
You multiply. That would be x to the 8th. Those are your 3 basic exponent properties.
Oh, wait, I did
Okay.
learn something last year.
Yeah, y'all remember. Okay.
I remember.
So here, this would just be, we're multiplying. Are the bases the same? First off, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. The base is what? What is the base in my property? In my problem? 3. The base is the number that has the exponent. Everybody got me? The exponent is the one that's up at the top right corner. The little number. Everybody good? Okay. So when I say like bases, they have to have the same base in order to do this, what we're about to do. If they don't, none of this matters. Everybody with me? Okay. So these are multiplying like bases. So what do we do with the exponents? Add. 2 plus 6 is 8. So this is just 3 to the 8th power. Okay. And obviously, if you put that in your calculator, you'll know what that is. But we're just going to leave it as 3 to the 8th right now.
Isn't it?
Okay.
It's like, say 3 to the second.
You're gonna have to do that.
Four.
You lost me.
To like the 6.
Okay,
Wouldn't
what
you
did
have
I say?
to
All of
multiply? Or?
Okay.
You do the exponents first and then simplify from it. This is a 3, this is a 3. As long as those two numbers are the same, you can add your exponents.
You do nothing to big number, only to small number.
Correct.
Okay.
You with me? Because I have had people before say 9 to the 8th power.
That's what I would do.
Okay, that's a total, like, you're not the first person to ever make that mistake. Okay?
If it's opposite, you're supposed to times it? Oh,
If what's opposite?
like if the numbers.
No, if the numbers, no.
The base number, opposite.
Well, there's nothing special about opposite bases. Okay? They're either going to be the same or they're going to be different.
Okay, good to see. That's why you're not.
You got me? If they're not the same, they're different. Doesn't matter. I mean, if they're opposite, they're different. Okay? And you will not be able to do what you just did. Okay? Are these bases the same?
Yes.
Yes. We are dividing. So what can I do with my exponents? Subtract. Now, this is where I do it different than most teachers. Okay? Or most people get it taught to them. I don't say 2 minus 7. Because I know I'm going to get a what?
Negative.
A negative answer. So that's going to be -4 to the -5, right? And then are we supposed to leave them as negative exponents? No, we just talked about it. They have to be moved to the bottom. And now it's going to be +5, okay? So what I do is I take this middle part step, I take it out. And here's how I do it. I always subtract the larger number minus the smaller number.
That's fine.
And I put my answer wherever the smaller number is. Excuse me, I said that wrong. I put the answer wherever the bigger number is. So which one's bigger, 7 or 2?
7.
So I say 7 minus 2 is what?
5.
And my answer goes on the bottom because that's where the bottom of 7 was.
And you just divide the negative 4.
You don't divide the -4.
I mean, that's how I would
It
use
stays
That's
-4.
how I would do it.
Okay?
And you'd still get the same answer.
You would.
Okay.
I'm great. Now, here's the problem. If you have numbers, you're just going to stick these in your calculator and let the calculator do the work anyway. The only time it really matters that you know the rules is when you have your variables.
Yeah.
Okay? So like on this one, this is going to be z, and we have a power to another power. So what do we do with the exponent? You multiply. 4 times -3 is -12, which means it's going to be 1 over z to the +12. You always want to leave your exponents positive. Okay? Everybody good on example 3? Yes?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Let's do an extra one here with some examples. A would be 2 to the what power? Not 15. 8. You add the exponents. Okay? 2 to the 8, which is 256. Okay. Again, if you have this question on your test, you're just going to type it in your calculator, and your calculator is going to give you 256. If you're doing it by hand, I'm going to take 2 to the 8th power. Okay? How about this one?
Second power.
Where is it there? It's 1 over -7 to the 2nd power. Okay? It's 1 over like this. All right? Oops. What in the world just happened?
You skipped.
I skipped quick, huh? All right. Now, that is 1 over 49. But, again, I would accept that. Okay? And then finally, C. What are we doing with those exponents? Multiplying them. So that's d to the -15, but we don't want to leave it like that.
So you just got a 1.
We want to make it 1 over d to the 5.
Okay, let's just do that one more.
Okay? Almost. All right. Example 4.
Are you sure you are?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
I had some chips. I had those.
Doritos thing?
The purple bag.
Oh,
The chili cheese one.
I
They
don't know why
do.
they called it a burrito. read
but
it.
they get stuck, and
Is that T?
it is T.
That's what I thought.
It's really good.
Katrina, what do you think if he did say T? What do you think was in there?
No, it's really good because
Raise
I
your
thought
hand.
it was T at first, and I said no. But that's just very thin ice coffee.
Oh, you can't even see these.
Yes,
Zoom in.
I can't zoom in, but I can write them. Okay. Hey,
I have no more room.
negative 1.5 y squared. All right. So, this is a combination problem, okay? That's not what they're called, but that's kind of what we're doing here. All right. What's everything in there being taken to? What power? What power is everything going to?
You did. I'm trying to.
I'm awake.
What's my power here?
2.
2. What gets the second power? You get it? Okay. What gets the second power here? Everything that's what? Inside the parentheses. So I'm going to take my calculator and do negative 1.5 squared in parentheses. You did negative 2 for some reason.
Oh.
What do you get?
2.25.
So that's 2.25 y
What's wrong with your calculator?
to what power? You didn't put to the second power. You just multiplied it by 2.
You press the big O right there.
Come have a seat, bud. They can come get their own if they want one. Okay.
So let me try this again.
The y will also have a what? A 2 on it. Okay. Because do I know what y is? I don't know what y is. I just know it's being squared. Okay. There is my answer. Part B, a over negative 10 to the third power. Again, everything in the parentheses is going to the third power. So, a is going to the third power, and then you type in negative 10 to the third power in your calculator. Make sure you put the negative 10 in parentheses.
Negative 1,000.
Did you say negative 100?
1,000.
Negative 1,000 is correct.
Wouldn't it have been to the second? It would have been just 1,100.
Then positive 100, correct.
Negative.
Yes. C, 3d over 2 to the fourth power. Now, I want you to understand, if you haven't noticed yet, we always put the number parts where? In the calculator. So what's my number part inside the parentheses here? 3 over what?
2.
So put 3 over 2 to the fourth. And you'll have to use your parentheses. Okay? Put it in your calculator.
81 over 16.
What'd you get?
81 over 16.
81 over 16. And now we do the variable last. Okay? It's just d to what power?
Fourth.
The fourth power. And I put it on top because that's where it was to begin with. And that's all you have to do on this.
I could have passed with Magnus class and she was like, I could have passed her class. But no, she had to be difficult.
All right? Everybody got those?
Yes, sir.
Last part on here, D.
Crap. Not crap.
Are we gonna ever graph this?
No,
Can you
Katrina.
graph this?
No, Katrina, you cannot.
2x over 3 to the negative 5 power. All right. What part do you put in the calculator?
2 over 13.
To what power?
Negative
2 over 3 to the negative 5th power. Does everybody know how to put that in your calculator? Maybe I need to do that.
243 over 32.
Ooh, that's that clone.
What's giving you a headache?
Clone thing. It's almost
2 over 3
You do it like that.
to the negative 5th power.
You do it
I
Where do
do.
you get the
And then I hit math, enter, enter to change it to
I do it.
my numbers.
Really
You put it, that's fine. Either way gives us the same answer.
Where do you get
Okay.
the slash button from?
The which button?
The slash?
Divide. Okay.
Oh.
So we got 243.
Over 32. Are you okay?
No, I lost my.
It's gone. I think you exited.
I didn't mean to if I did. I mean, okay,
You did.
obviously I did, but I didn't mean to. All right, who we got? No.
You having some trouble?
One more time. For the bottom.
All right, D.
Spraying stuff.
So what was the number again? Because I done lost it. What was it? 243
Yes, sir. Over 32.
over 32?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then we would have x to the what? Negative fifth power. Now notice, I'm putting it up top because, again, that's where my x was. But does it need to stay there?
No.
No, because now it has what kind of exponent? A negative exponent. So where does it go?
On the bottom.
On the bottom. That's the only part that moves, though. I don't move the 243 and the 32 because do they have negative exponents?
No.
They do not. Okay?
So the 32 had like a negative exponent, so you just switch.
I would just move everything. Yes. For example, that's a great, here. Let me do it like this.
It's just very thick.
It's already been flipped, basically, because here's, I want to show it a little different way. Everything in here got the negative 5 power. Okay? 2 to the negative 5, that actually goes to the bottom. And the 3 to the 5th goes to the top. And actually, I should have moved that to the bottom because it's a negative there. So that's that. 3 to the 5th is 243. 32 is 2 to the 5th. So the calculator had already done that for us. We just got to move our variable. Okay? Everybody good on those? All right. Moving right on. Y'all are doing good. What are we on time? 22 minutes. Hey, that's not bad. Example 5. Got 2 more examples.
And then you just
Yes.
I think it's like the
Volume.
okay, you know what? Okay, I've now given up.
Don't give up. Just now, look.
Miss Brandon's on
Now you've learned what you need to learn. Now you get to apply it to something. Okay? It says, which of the expressions shown represent the volume of the cylinder where R is radius and H is the height? Okay? So first off, the volume of a cylinder. Y'all happen to know that one?
No.
It's area of the base
Area times
times what?
height.
Times the height. So what is my base here? And it's not laying on its base, by the way. It's laying down on its side. So what kind of base do I have? What is that? It's a circle. So how do you find the area of a circle?
Pi times
Excellent. That's area of a circle. Okay? So that is my base. So I'm going to have pi r squared times the height of the cylinder, which is just what? It's just h.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, let's plug in what we know. Volume is going to be pi. Do I know the radius? It's what? H over 2 squared times h. Our order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? Please is parentheses. E is exponent. So I'm going to do this part right here. Whoa, that's really big. Let me try it again. This part first. That part, I don't even like it being blue. Let's make it yellow. There we go. That's better. Okay. I'm going to do that part first. So this will be pi. Everything in that parentheses goes to the second power. Does the pi go to the second power?
No.
No, because it's not in the parentheses. Okay? So this is h squared over, what is 2 squared?
4.
4 times another h. For my last step, it will be pi. H squared, this h is understood to be over 1, right? So h squared times another h, what do I do with the exponents? Add them. That will be h to the third over 4. So which one of these is my answer? Any of them on the top?
No.
Nope.
Middle one in the ball.
Right there. Pi h to the third over 4.
You have your pi thing on the side.
Ma'am?
You have your pi thing on the side.
I do, but it doesn't matter because it's pi over what? 1.
Okay.
And so you can just multiply those and move it. It's on the top, even though it's not on the
It's
top.
there, but it's not there.
Anytime it's on the side, it's on the top. Okay?
Like some people.
Any questions on those? Everybody good? All right. We're going to stop there for today and do some examples here in class. Hope the video helps you guys. See you next time, and as always, stay above the line.